I was one of the first to congratulate Prime Minister Modi on his electoral victory in May 2014. I accepted his invitation to attend his swearing-in ceremony. However, the positive momentum generated by that meeting was halted when New Delhi cancelled the Foreign Secretary-level talks on a flimsy excuse. I met Mr. Modi again in Ufa, Russia. Again, the National Security Advisors meeting was scuttled by India to limit the talks to one issue and to dictate the program of our National Security Advisor in New Delhi. The cancellation of the NSA-level talks has been followed by increased ceasefire violations by India across the line of control in Kashmir and the working boundary. And a stream of hostile statements by the Indian political and military leadership. Meanwhile, anti-Pakistan actions by Hindu extremists are exacerbating the present tensions in our region. In my address to the United Nations General Assembly last month, I proposed a new peace initiative comprising 4 specific and feasible steps that could serve as the basis for progress towards normalization. Unfortunately, India's response was not positive. While refusing dialogue, India is engaged in a major arms buildup, regrettably with the active assistance of several powers. It has adopted dangerous military doctrines. This will compel Pakistan to take several countermeasures to preserve credible deterrence. A normal and stable relationship between Pakistan and India can be built by adherence to the principles of the UN Charter, especially the principle of sovereignty, equality of states and non-interference in their internal affairs, and the right of peoples to self-determination. There is no alternative for the two countries but to resume a comprehensive dialogue to resolve all outstanding issues, including the core issue of Jammu and Kashmir.
Obviously, the United States and Pakistan have a long-standing relationship, work and cooperate on a whole host of issues, not just on security matters, but also on economic and